So I want to talk about what happens when we come off path. I think this is something that happens an awful lot. We get curveballs, we get taken off the yellow brick road, we fall behind, whatever it might be. I want us to take us through this scenario because I want you to be able to have the skills and the mindset and the resilience to be able to bounce back. Now, this is your yellow brick road, day 0 to here, okay? The 12th week. This here is our straight line to success. Hitting our checkpoints, checkpoint, checkpoint. Okay, sounds easy, right? We can do all these Gucci plans and we can just stick to those plans and we can be where we want to be. Sometimes that's just not realistic. Better to be well planned to deal with everything that's going to come our way, distractions, curveballs, unforeseen circumstances. What we want to make sure we do is be in the best possible condition to deal with them, understand them, not ignore them. So what tends to happen is that we're on our path, things are going well, we're working to something doesn't happen the way we want it to happen. So we get our curveball. That curveball brings a whole, if you like, explosion of emotions, of distraction, of confusion, of stress or frustration. And what we do in the mindset is forget the yellow brick road. We go into, if you like, a reactive state, an emotional state. And we don't think clearly and we don't act clearly. We don't put it into two categories. One, this is something that I can control. This is in terms of making a decision. Is this something that's critical? Is this something that really isn't that critical and it can wait? Or we end up falling into a position where we lose control of the uncontrollable. Like you can't do anything about COVID, you can't do anything about what government decides to do in terms of tax percentages, okay, in terms of people wanting to buy your program. You can't change people's mentality or external factors. So you have to try and get into that mindset. Is this something that's in my control or is this something that's out of my control? Should it affect the long-term plan? Okay, or can I get myself back on? And it's about making these decisions, because if we don't, what ends up happening, we go into another curveball. We go down deeper into the rabbit hole. And that is dangerous because we then become mentally and emotionally burnt out. We're fried. And because we're so fried, we've forgotten about this path. So your path then ends up going all the way down here. And we end up getting to the end of the 12 weeks and there was this huge gap from where we needed to be. So we get here, we go, I haven't achieved this, I haven't achieved this, I haven't achieved this, I let this overwhelm me, I let this this take over, I lacked my productivity levels, I wasn't in that right state of mind, and then we become frustrated. And not only does that hold back us here in the 12 weeks, it has the knock-on effect all the way through, okay? So how can we deal with this? How can we avoid this? How can we recover from this? How can we bring ourselves back so that we just come back on here and we slip back into the streamline of trying to be successful and achieve our 12-week targets? All right, there's a couple of things. Connect with the plan regularly. As soon as you come off here, the first thing that I usually do is ask myself, is this something that is going to knock me off plan? Is this something that I have to kind of look forwards at in this particular area in front of me directly in the next 3 to 4 weeks and pushing things back, adjust my plan? If I have to adjust, then I'll adjust right away and then bring myself back on. It just means that the outcome might be slightly different. You don't know. It could be the fact that you're moving house all of a sudden. You might be having a baby. One of your children might be struggling to settle in at a school. You might be having cash flow issues. There's a whole host of things that could be causing that issue. And that's just real life. It's just reacting to it. And because you have your plan, you can make better decisions. But as soon as you allow it to overtake you and you become reactive, that's when we go into this curveball and we don't bring ourselves back. So connect with the plan ahead, adjust. So then start asking yourself, is what you're doing right? So as soon as you start going down here, there's always going to be curveballs. It's the second curveball that really takes us off path. So when you get to here, if you're doing things that take you further away from the yellow brick road, then ask yourself, say to you, is this benefiting me? Is this what I'm meant to be doing? If the answer is no, then stop. Like, take a cup of tea, go for a walk, clear your head, and actually problem solve. Be proactive with it. Don't allow the whole situation to completely consume you. Okay? Daily practices. Now, the more you work on yourself, the more you're going to have control of this. Okay? The morning routines, the meditation, the eating well, the exercise, the clarity, the planning, the reviewing, the analysis, being the asset of the business, what I'm always talking about. So, the better you become, the clearer minded, the better the minute we hit this curveball, the more likely we are to take this road than this road. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to be looking at is the review. So I want you to be able to review the process, and reviewing the process is really, really important, because reviewing the process connects you to this, this, and this. It's constantly in your mind every single day. So if this happens, review what's happening. Again, everything's always about bringing you back to this point. We always want to go back to that yellow brick road rather than you losing it completely. Okay? Recognize what's happening. Don't bury your head in the sand. That's what a lot of people do. It becomes overwhelming. We bury our heads in the sand, and it becomes frustrated. You become frustrated. You lose the plot. You lose the system. Bang. And then we're trying 6 weeks later saying, oh, I'm back on it now. All right, guys, I hope that helps. This is an important part of planning at this stage. So for me, at the 12-week stage, this happens. This happens on a daily and weekly basis, all right? But as an overall quarter battle plan, okay, I really feel that we're embraced, emotionally connected to these 12 weeks. This is going to happen. This is definitely going to happen. Okay, we're just going to make sure we're making the right decisions to bring ourselves back on. Forward thinking, mental resilience, rather than heading down here. Okay, hope you enjoyed. See you in the next video.